For years you've been told the observer effect is about how observation changes reality. That's only half the truth. It was never about reality. It was about activating the one and only thing that could choose it. You. This isn't a new age interpretation. This is the direct and unavoidable conclusion of the quantum double-slit experiment, a foundational pillar of physics that scientists have grappled with for nearly a century. Your personal consciousness is the mechanism of collapse. In the next 50 minutes, I will show you the exact physics that prove your personal identity is the most powerful and fundamental creative force in the universe, and more importantly, how to finally use this stunning realization to consciously engineer the world you experience. We are going to move beyond the surface-level metaphors. We will look at the work of pioneering physicist John Wheeler, the man who coined the term black hole, and his radical concept of a participatory universe. This is crucial to understand. This isn't philosophy we are discussing today. This is physics. And yet, I know the feeling. You've likely felt the deep frustration of learning these incredible mind-bending concepts. Quantum leaps, superposition, the field of infinite potential, yet feeling like a spectator. You feel like you're in the audience watching a movie about someone else's power. That gnawing cognitive dissonance. That feeling of being disconnected from the very force you are being told you possess. That ends today. Have you ever felt like you were following all the rules of manifestation, of creating your reality, but were still just watching a life unfold that you didn't consciously choose? If you're ready to move beyond theory and into your personal power, hit the like button now. It signals that this deeper science-backed exploration is what you're here for. So, how does the observer effect work in real life, for you specifically? Let's dismantle the old model. For too long we've been taught to operate under a flawed premise. Imagine you are sitting in a dark movie theater. Your entire life you have been focused on the screen. You've tried to change the movie by shouting at the characters, by wishing the plot would change, by trying to rearrange the pixels on the screen itself. You've been trying to change the reflection, but the power was never on the screen. The power is and has always been in the projector room. We believe we are in the audience watching the movie of our life. The truth is, we are the light source. We are the film running through the projector. Your identity, your core sense of self, is the very film that is being projected frame by frame onto the screen of three-dimensional reality. The universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. It projects who you have decided to be. This is the fundamental shift we will make together today. By the end of this video, you will no longer see yourself as a character reacting to the story of your life. You will know yourself, with unshakable certainty, as its author. To understand how this works, we must first look at the model that has confused us for so long, the old story of quantum mechanics. It begins in a laboratory with an experiment so famous it has become a modern legend, the double-slit experiment. The setup is simple. Physicists fire a stream of particles like electrons at a barrier with two vertical slits in it. Behind the barrier is a screen, a detector wall that records where each electron lands. When only one slit is open, the electrons behave exactly as you'd expect. They pass through the single slit and hit the screen behind it, forming a single band. Simple, predictable. This is the world of classical physics, the world of cause and effect we think we live in. But when both slits are open, something impossible happens. The electrons, even when fired one at a time, no longer act like particles. They act like waves. Instead of forming two distinct bands on the screen, they create an interference pattern, a series of multiple bands, just as if two waves of water had passed through the slits and interfered with each other. This means that each single electron, somehow, passed through both slits simultaneously. It existed not as a thing, but as a field of pure potential, a wave of probability. This is where the story gets its famous twist. The physicists, baffled by this, decided to watch. They placed a detector by the slits to see which one the electron actually went through. The moment they did, the moment they introduced an act of measurement, an observation, the magic vanished. The interference pattern disappeared. The electron stopped being a wave of potential and collapsed back into a single particle, passing through one slit or the other, and creating two simple bands on the screen. The conclusion that echoed through the halls of science was monumental. The act of observation collapses the wave of potential into a single, concrete reality. For a century, this is where the mainstream explanation has stopped. It presents observation as a sterile mechanical process, a detached, almost accidental trigger that forces the universe to make a choice. This explanation is correct, but it is fatally incomplete. It leaves out the most important variable in the entire equation. It leaves out you. This is the point where we graduate from the textbook definition and into the living truth. The process isn't just an observer effect. The true mechanism is what we will call the personal observer collapse. It's not that the universe is being watched. It's about who is doing the watching. A camera, a measuring device, can register a result. It can act as a trigger for collapse. But it has no identity. It has no history, no belief, no core sense of self. It observes without meaning. Your consciousness is different. You are not a passive camera. You are an active, coherent field of information built around a central hub, your identity, your sense of I am. This is the missing key. A generic, unfocused observation is like static, but the focused, sustained observation that emanates from a stable sense of self, a defined identity, is a coherent signal. It is this signal, this broadcast of who you are, that doesn't just observe which possibility to collapse, it selects it. This is why the old methods have been so frustratingly hit or miss. This is why affirmations, visualizations, and the tireless practice of acting as if so often feel like shouting into the void. You have been taught to focus on changing the image on the screen, forgetting that the real power lies in the film running through the projector. Imagine you are in a movie theater, watching the story of your life. You see lack, you see struggle, you see loneliness on the screen, so you follow the advice. You run up to the screen with buckets of paint and brushes. With intense effort, you paint a new image over the old one. You paint abundance over the lack. You paint joy over the struggle. This is an affirmation. This is visualization. It requires immense constant effort to hold that new image in place, because behind your paint, the projector is still running. And what is the film running through that projector? The film is your core identity, your deep, unexamined cellular knowing of who you are. If the film is titled, I am a person who is unworthy of love, you can paint a picture of a happy relationship on the screen, but the light of the universe is still being filtered through the story of unworthiness. The universe is not responding to the paint. It is responding to the film. An affirmation for wealth is often a declaration of lack. You are trying to convince yourself of something you do not believe you are. The very act of repeating, I am wealthy, while the film of, I am someone who needs to become wealthy, is running in the projector creates a signal of conflict, a signal of absence. The universe, which only responds to coherent signals, receives the broadcast not of wealth, but of the struggle for it. It receives the frequency of the film, not the paint on the screen. Think back for a moment. Where in your life have you been trying to change the reflection in the mirror, forgetting that the change must first happen within you? This realization changes the entire game. The goal is not to get better at painting the screen. The goal is to stop, to walk back to the projection booth, and to change the film itself. The new paradigm is this. You must shift your entire focus from trying to change what you see to changing who is seeing. Your core identity, that deep, quiet, foundational sense of self, is the ultimate broadcast signal. It is a constant transmission that ripples out into the quantum field, organizing the infinite sea of potential particles into the specific people, events, and circumstances that perfectly match its frequency. Reality is not something you chase. It is something you organize. This is the observer effect consciousness explained. Your consciousness doesn't just see reality. Your core identity selects it. It doesn't attract it from a distance. It crystallizes it from the potential that is already everywhere. You are not a magnet pulling things toward you. You are a tuning fork, and the entire universe around you must vibrate at your specific, chosen frequency. The struggle is over. The fight to change the world outside of you is revealed as a misunderstanding of physics. Your only work, your only true point of power, is to redefine you. For your entire life you have operated under one fundamental, unquestioned assumption. It is an assumption so deep, so embedded in the fabric of our culture, our language, and our very sense of self, that we don't even see it as an assumption. We see it as reality itself. The assumption is this: my reality shapes who I am. The job I have, the money in my account, the relationships I'm in, the state of my health, these external facts combine to create the internal identity I call me. We are taught to be a product of our circumstances, a result of our history, an effect of external causes. This single belief is the source of all human struggle. Because if this were true, you would be forever at the mercy of a world outside of yourself. You would be a passenger, a character reading lines written by someone else. Now I want you to take a deep breath, because we are about to shatter that assumption with a truth so profound it will re-architect the very foundation of your world. Here is the great revelation, the central paradox of quantum existence. We believe our identity is formed by our reality. The truth is, our reality is formed by our identity. Let that land. It is not the world that creates you. It is you who creates the world. The universe is not a rigid container you are placed within. It is a quantum mirror, and its only job, its only capability, is to reflect back to you the truth of who you have decided you are. It cannot show you a reflection of wealth if you are broadcasting the identity of lack. It cannot show you a reflection of love if your core identity is one of unworthiness. The mirror has no choice, it can only reflect. This changes everything, because if this is true, and the physics points to the fact that it is, then the entire model of creation we have been taught is upside down. This means reality isn't something you have to change. It is something that has to change to match you. The constant effort, the struggle, the pushing against a world that seems resistant, that is the experience of a person trying to convince a mirror to change its reflection without changing what stands before it. It is an impossible, exhausting task. The universe isn't resisting you. It is responding to you with perfect, unwavering fidelity. When you change the identity, the reflection must, by law, change instantly and effortlessly. This also means that your only work, the only real work you will ever have to do, is to change your sense of self. Your focus shifts entirely from the outside world to the inside world. You stop managing circumstances and you begin curating your identity. You stop trying to manipulate the moving pieces on the chessboard of your life and you become the player who decides which game is being played. All power is withdrawn from the screen, from the reflection, and returned to its source, to you. And most profoundly, this means your past does not define you. It cannot. The past is just a story of a former identity. It only has power over your present reality if your current identity is one of a person defined by their past. The moment you consciously choose a new identity, you sever the energetic cord to that past. You step out from in front of the mirror reflecting that old story, and you stand as a new being. The mirror of the quantum field in that same moment must now reflect your new self. The past becomes just a memory, not a blueprint. So this is how to use the observer effect to change your reality. You don't use it on reality. You embody the identity of the reality you desire. The old approach was one of force, of doing, affirming, visualizing, scripting, acting. All of these are powerful tools, but they fail when they are used by an identity that contradicts them. You can shout, "I am wealthy" all day, but if the quiet core broadcast of your identity is, "I am someone who lacks money," the universe hears the whisper of your being, not the shout of your mouth. The new approach is not about effort. It is not about struggle. It is about the subtle, quiet, and supremely powerful decision of who you have decided to be. Right now. It's a shift that happens behind your eyes. A change in the frequency of your being. It is the end of chasing and the beginning of radiating. You stop trying to get something, and you simply become the person who already has it. The need for effort dissolves, replaced by the certainty of being. What if the reality you desire isn't something you need to attract, but a frequency you simply need to become? Let that question dismantle the very foundation of struggle. You have been taught that you are a human experiencing reality. This is the final layer of the illusion. You are not. You are consciousness itself, authoring reality through the focal point of a chosen identity. You are not the character in the movie. You are not even just the director telling the character what to do. You are the author writing the script, the director framing the shot, and the protagonist living the story, all at once. There is no separation. The entire creative process is happening within you. The identity you hold is the ink, the camera, and the actor. You are the story, and the universe is the page, waiting for you to write the next line simply by deciding who is holding the pen. This shift in identity is not a future event. It is not something you have to wait for. The very moment you truly grasp it, the moment you understand that you are the cause and reality is the effect, the universe begins to send you evidence. It must. It is the law. It has to reflect your new state of being, but this evidence often arrives in disguise. It appears as a series of counterintuitive signs that you have likely been misinterpreting your entire life. These are not just signs. They are the universe's stage directions, confirming that it is actively rehearsing your new story. Here are the 3 most powerful signs that your personal observer collapse is already in progress. The first sign is the great shedding. This is perhaps the most misunderstood of all. People, circumstances, and opportunities that perfectly matched your old identity begin to fall away. But they don't fall away with drama or conflict. They fall away with a quiet, almost unsettling sense of irrelevance. A close friendship doesn't end in a fight. You just find you have less and less to say to each other until the connection simply dissolves into a fond memory. A career path you pursued with relentless ambition suddenly feels hollow, its allure gone. Not because you failed, but because you no longer recognize the person who wanted it. This isn't the universe punishing you or abandoning you. It is the universe lovingly and efficiently clearing the stage. It is removing the props and the characters from a play that has concluded because the protagonist has fundamentally changed. You are the protagonist. What you used to interpret as loss, as failure, as things going wrong, you must now learn to see as cosmic efficiency. It is proof. It is a vacuum being created, a sacred emptiness that can only be filled by the people, places, and events that resonate with the new identity. You are now broadcasting into the quantum field. Do not cling to the old set pieces. Do not mourn the characters who have exited stage left. Their part is over. Your old story is over. Their departure is the applause signaling the end of an act, making way for the one you have just begun to write. Recognize this shedding for what it is, a profound act of universal respect for the new author you have become. The second sign is what I call the personal synchronicity. We've all heard of seeing repeating numbers or a feather on the ground, but this is far deeper, far more intimate. This is the universe communicating with you in a language only you can understand. It's an inside joke between you and the cosmos. You might be contemplating a very specific, obscure memory from your childhood, and suddenly you walk past a car and a song from that exact moment in time is playing on the radio. Or you'll be wrestling with a decision, and the perfect answer will come from a line of dialogue in a movie you randomly chose to watch. A line so specific to your situation, it feels like it was written just for you. These are not random coincidences. This is the feedback loop. This is reality winking at you. It is the universe confirming, message received. I have your new script. We are in resonance. These synchronicities become more frequent and more personal as your new identity stabilizes. They are quantum breadcrumbs leading you along the path of your new reality, confirming that the world is, in fact, rearranging itself around your new center of gravity, your new self. Pay attention to them, acknowledge them. Feel the thrill of that recognition. Each one is a confirmation from the director of the universe that your scene is being set, that your new reality is not just possible, it is imminent. The third sign is the most subtle and the most powerful. It is the internal state shift. You begin to feel a strange and profound sense of peace about the very things you once desperately wanted. That goal you were chasing with frantic, needy energy, the craving subsides. The desperate longing for a specific outcome. It is replaced by a quiet, unshakable knowing. This is not apathy. It is not you giving up on your desires. It is the final and most definitive proof of embodiment. You have become the person who already has it. A person who is wealthy does not constantly crave wealth. They embody the frequency of abundance. A person in a loving relationship is not desperately seeking love. They are the source of it. The craving, the neediness, the attachment to the outcome, that is the signature frequency of lack. It is the broadcast of an identity that does not have what it wants. When that broadcast changes, when your core identity shifts to being the person who already is that reality, the desperate wanting must dissolve. It is a vibrational impossibility for it to remain. This newfound peace, this neutrality, is the feeling of arrival. It's the calm of the character who knows how the story ends, because they are the one writing it. These three signs, the shedding of the old, the arrival of personal synchronicities, and the internal shift from wanting to being, are not a test. They are a conversation. They are the universe reflecting your inner transformation back to you in real time. Learn to read these stage directions. See them not as random, disconnected events, but as a coherent and intelligent response to your personal observer collapse. They are confirmation that you are no longer just a character reading lines. You are directing the entire production. In the comments below, share which of these three signs you now recognize in your own life. Let's create a powerful record of these shifts happening in real time. I want to witness your breakthrough. You understand the logic. You have seen the evidence in your own world. But knowledge and conviction are not the final step. They are the doorway. Now we must walk through it. We move beyond the mind and into the body, beyond theory and into being. This is not an exercise in relaxation, this is the work. This is where the collapse happens. So I invite you now, only if it feels safe to do so, to find a comfortable position. One where you can remain aware yet deeply relaxed, and gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, filling your lungs completely, and as you exhale, release the day. Release the need to figure this out. Release the identity you were just a moment ago. Another deep breath in, and on the out breath, allow your body to feel heavy, supported, and still. You are here. Now. I want you to bring your awareness to the space around you, not the objects in the room, but the space itself. The air, the silence between sounds. Feel it. Sense it. This space is not empty. It is full. It is the quantum field. A shimmering, vibrating ocean of pure, unformed potential. It holds the energy for every possible reality, every version of you, every conceivable experience. It is formless, it is neutral, it is waiting. It is the infinite programmable energy from which all things are born. Just for a moment, simply sit in this field of all possibility. Feel its gentle hum. It is the raw material of creation, and it exists both outside of you and inside of you. There is no separation. Now, from this place of pure potential, we are going to perform the most important act of creation. We are not going to visualize what you want. We are not going to paint a picture of a desired outcome. That is the old way. That is trying to paint on the screen. Instead, you are going to step into the character. I want you to call forth the feeling of the identity you choose to be. Not the emotion of getting something, but the core somatic signature of being the person who is already living your desired reality. Who is that person? What does it feel like to be them right now? What is the fundamental frequency of their being? Is it a feeling of expansive freedom in your chest? Is it a deep, unshakable peace that settles in your gut? Is it a quiet, powerful confidence that radiates from your very cells? Don't search for it with your mind. Invite it with your body. Ask your body, show me the feeling of this identity. Let it arise naturally. It might be subtle at first. A faint resonance, a warmth, a stillness. Whatever it is, hold it gently. Don't force it. Don't grasp it. Simply allow it. This feeling is your new home. It is the energetic signature you are choosing to broadcast into the quantum field. This feeling is the cause. Now let this feeling grow. Allow it to expand from its center, moving through your entire body. filling every cell, every atom. Feel this state of being, this chosen identity, becoming the totality of your internal world. But we will not stop there. This is the critical step. This feeling is not an emotion you are having. It is the substance of your very being. Let this feeling expand beyond the boundaries of your skin. Let it fill the room you are in. Imagine it is the very air you are breathing. This feeling is not in you. You are in it. You are dissolving into an infinite ocean of this one, chosen state of being. The boundary between you, the observer, and the field of potential is dissolving. They are becoming one. Your identity is no longer a small point of consciousness looking out at the world. Your identity has become the world. There is no longer a you who desires a reality. There is only the unified field of this one chosen identity. This is embodiment. This is the collapse. You are not acting as if. You are. Stay here. In this unified field of your new self. There is nothing to do, nothing to attract, nothing to become. There is only this. This is your truth. This is the signal that organizes the unformed energy around you into the reflection you call your life. From this place, your new reality is not a possibility. It is an inevitability. And now, very gently, keeping the essence of this feeling with you, begin to bring your awareness back. Back to the physical sensation of your body in the chair. Back to the sounds in the room. Take a slow, deep breath, anchoring this new state of being into the present moment. When you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. As you come back to this moment, what is the single word that captures the feeling of this new identity? That word is your new North Star. You are no longer a person trying to change reality. You are the director. That shift, from the embodied certainty of who you are, is the single most powerful step. But a director does not simply feel the story. They have tools to bring it to life on set. They have a framework for ensuring every scene, every line, every action is in service to the final film. What you have just experienced is the ultimate casting call, and you have cast yourself in the lead role. Now, we move to the set of your life and give you the director's toolkit. This is not about adding more work. It is about simplifying your work to one single focus, maintaining the integrity of the character you have chosen to be. You are no longer begging the screen to change. You are giving commands from the director's chair. Here is your daily practice. Here's the first step in how to use the observer effect to change your reality, the identity audit. This is not a judgment. It is a loving, precise recalibration. Every morning for just 5 minutes, you will sit with one question. Not a list of affirmations, not a forced visualization, but one simple diagnostic question. Are my thoughts, feelings, and actions today aligned with the identity I have chosen? You simply observe. You notice the thought streams that belong to the old character. You feel the emotional residue of the old script. You see the habitual actions that reinforce the old storyline. You don't fight them. You don't wrestle them into submission. A director doesn't fight with an actor who has forgotten their lines. They simply and calmly remind them of the new script. You observe these old patterns with the detached authority of the director, and you say to yourself, "Interesting. That belongs to the old film. That's not who we are anymore." This practice is not about achieving perfection. It's about achieving awareness. Awareness is the light that dissolves the shadows of unconscious creation. This audit makes you conscious of which film you are feeding into the projector of reality in any given moment. And with that awareness, you can choose again. The second tool is for when you are in the middle of a scene, when the world presents you with a challenge. Here is how to use the observer effect to change your reality in real time. The quantum pause. An unexpected bill arrives. A difficult conversation begins. An old fear is triggered. The old character, the old identity, has a pre-programmed automatic reaction. It's a neural pathway worn deep like a canyon. To react from that place is to collapse the quantum field into the same old particle of experience. It is to shoot the same scene, over and over again. The director does not do this. When faced with the challenge, you pause. You take one conscious breath, And in that sacred space between stimulus and response, you ask the defining question: how would the person I have chosen to be respond to this? How would the version of me who is already wealthy, loved, and secure handle this moment? This question is a command to the quantum field. It stops the collapse into the old reality and holds all possibilities in superposition. Your answer, born from your new identity, is the act of observation that collapses the wave of potential reactions into the one that matches your new script. The world doesn't change you. You tell the world how it will be reflected around you. This pause is your creative power in action. It is the moment you stop being a reactor and become the sole, conscious creator of your experience. The final tool in your director's toolkit is how you stabilize this new reality, how you train your very brain to see what you have created. It is how you use the observer effect to solidify your new world. The reality evidence log. The signs you learned about earlier, the shedding of the old, the personal synchronicities, the internal state of peace. These are not random accidents. They are dailies from the universe. They are rushes from the film set of your life, showing you that the new scene is being captured. Your job as the director is to watch these dailies with intention. Every day you will actively look for and write down the evidence, no matter how small, that your new reality is emerging. Did someone say something that perfectly mirrored a new belief you hold? Write it down. Did an opportunity appear that would only make sense for the new you? Write it down. Did you feel a moment of profound peace where you once would have felt anxiety? That is the most important evidence of all. Write it down. This is not a gratitude journal. This is a scientific logbook. You are training your brain, your entire perceptual apparatus, to filter for the new reality. You are putting your conscious focus on the evidence of your new identity, and whatever you consistently observe, you stabilize into your physical experience. You are observing the new world into a more and more solid existence. It is the most practical form of quantum physics you will ever engage in. What is the very first storyline from your old character that you will consciously stop rehearsing, starting right now? Declare it to yourself. This is your new operating system. The identity audit in the morning sets the script for the day. The quantum pause allows you to direct the scenes in real time. The reality evidence log at night reinforces the new film you have created. This is not a list of chores. This is not another set of techniques to try. This is the natural, effortless way of being for a conscious reality creator. You are not a person applying tools. You have become the director, and these are simply the functions of your role. You are no longer acting. You are simply being. And from that state of being, entire worlds are born. You now have the key. You understand the fundamental mechanism that was hidden in plain sight, encoded in the language of quantum physics. Your reality was never happening to you. It was always happening through you. The universe was never a detached, objective stage upon which you were a mere actor. It is a responsive, intelligent field of pure potential, and the single most powerful force that organizes that field into a coherent experience is your identity. The film running through the projector, the light source that gives it life, the story being told, it has always been you. This is a power you can now wield not with force but with the quiet certainty of being. You are no longer trying to change the world. You are allowing the world to change in response to who you have become. But your film isn't being projected in a vacuum. The movie of your life is not showing in an empty theater. It is part of a vast, interconnected cosmic network. Your broadcast, the signal of your identity, doesn't just create the holographic experience you call your life. It influences everything it is connected to. Every particle that has ever interacted is forever linked. Every consciousness is a node in a universal web of being. You have mastered your personal film. Now, you must discover that you are part of an infinite cinematic universe. This is the next horizon. This is where personal power evolves into universal influence. When your personal observer collapse, your defined, embodied identity meets the immutable principle of quantum entanglement, something extraordinary happens. Your personal reality shift, the one you have just learned to engineer, begins to create ripples. Coherent waves that influence people, events, and outcomes that lie far beyond your immediate perception. The changes you make within yourself are not contained. They propagate through the field. You don't just change your world, you change the world. Because your identity is not an island, it is a resonant frequency in a universal ocean of consciousness. When you change your note, the entire symphony shifts. Now that you know how to author your reality, what if you could become a benevolent force that helps co-author a better reality for everyone? Subscribe and turn on all notifications because in our next video, Quantum Entanglement Explained, how your identity instantly influences everything and everyone, we explore how your personal reality begins to architect the world around you. You have to be here for that. We will move from the physics of the self to the physics of the collective. You will learn how your internal state can tangibly soothe a conflict in your home without a word being spoken. How your certainty can unlock opportunities for those you love. How your embodied peace becomes a measurable force in a chaotic world. This is not philosophy. This is the next layer of the physics of creation. You are not just the author of your story. You are a vital, indispensable, and profoundly influential co-creator of the entire cosmic narrative. Your awakening matters to all of us.